What's going on, guys? Today's video is going to be a Q&A slash get to know me slash answering common questions that I get frequently. So without further ado, I'm going to read what they are, and if you have any other questions that I don't answer in this video, feel free to comment below and I'll get back to you. So first question is online training slash Instagram your only job, and do you have a 9-to-5 or go to school? So I do not go to school. When I graduated from high school, I actually went to cosmetology school. This was before I discovered my love for fitness. And although hair is a hobby of mine and I like doing certain things, it's definitely not my passion by any means. But I did go to cosmetology school. I worked in a couple of different salons. And I never went to like a university or college. And I think the main reason was just simply because I always knew that I wanted to do something of my own, like whether that was own a business of my own or just be an entrepreneur of some kind. And I knew that even though you can go to school to learn to be an entrepreneur and they have entrepreneur classes, I just figured that it wasn't something that I needed to do. I didn't really want to be in a ton of debt, and I knew that if I really applied myself, I could teach myself the things that I needed to know without going to college, and it just wasn't for me. And I think that college is great if it is something that you have to do for your career and if it's for what you're passionate about, if you want to be a doctor or a lawyer or any profession like that where you need schooling. But I'm definitely an advocate for doing what you're passionate about, and sometimes that doesn't require going to college. So at the end of the day, I just tell people, follow your heart, and just because society tells you that you have to go to college to be successful, don't buy into that. You follow your heart, follow your dreams, and if you don't decide to go to school, make sure that you do put 100% into whatever it is that you are passionate about so that you can be successful. But that kind of aside, I didn't go to college, and after I was working in some salons for a few years and realized that wasn't my passion, is kind of when I started figuring out that I loved fitness, and it just grew over time. I grew to love the way that I felt and love the way that I looked, and I really just wanted to help other people learn the things that I have learned and basically just help other people change their lives like mine was changed through fitness. And so the last few years, I have been nannying part-time for a little girl, and I started when she was 4 months old, and she is now 2.5. And she just now started going to preschool, so she doesn't really need me anymore. I still go over there whenever the family needs me, but that's not like my full-time job or anything. What I work on full-time is definitely things with my online clients, my Instagram. I'm partnered with One Up Nutrition. I am partnered with different companies, and essentially when you have an Instagram or a following on social media, Instagram itself does not pay you. YouTube will pay you. I can kind of get into that in a different video, but Instagram itself doesn't pay you. What pays you if you have a large following on social media or on Instagram is when you collaborate with companies and you either get a commission of sales, or they may do price per post, so they will pay you a certain amount to post about a product or a service. So that's one way, and you can also get paid from doing online training. If you obviously have your own clothing line, which I don't have anything like that. But yes, my full-time, what I work on and spend most of my time on is all through social media and fitness and online training and working with companies, and that is my full-time job, I guess. I don't have a 9-to-5, and yeah, hopefully that answers that. Next question is, when you have a short torso from scoliosis, what can help make your stomach appear flatter or help with love handles? So this is a very common problem, I guess you can say, for people who have scoliosis, is since our torso is curved, it also kind of squishes everything in, makes everything appear shorter, and I guess a stumpy would be a good word. That's kind of how I feel sometimes, is my torso is so short that it makes it appear a little bit less toned or flat, because when you have an elongated stomach, it's obviously going to look more flat, and I don't know how I'm trying to say this, but basically when you have scoliosis, oftentimes you can have a very short torso that makes it appear that you don't have maybe as toned of a stomach as you really do. So what can you do about that? What can you do to make it look flatter or to help with love handles? So I first want to start by saying that if you have love handles, whether you have scoliosis or not, and that's something that you're looking to get rid of, there's never going to be an exercise per se to get rid of that. When you have fat in any area of your body, you can't really spot reduce fat by doing certain exercises. The way to get rid of body fat altogether is by cleaning up your diet. I'm sure you guys have all heard it. Some people say 70% diet, 30% gym. I say 80% diet, 20% gym. That's just my professional opinion, but I can't stress enough the importance of putting clean, whole foods in your body, drinking tons of water, taking the right supplements that your body needs, maybe the supplements that you're deficient in, and really just trying to stay away from processed foods as much as possible. I think that people kind of overcomplicate eating clean or eating healthy or dieting. When you are exercising on a weekly basis and you are putting mainly whole foods in your body is going to respond. And at the end of the day, like I said, the most important thing is just cleaning up your diet and then, of course, doing those exercises in those certain areas that you're trying to work on. But unfortunately, we can't pick and choose where we lose fat. You just lose fat overall, and it might take a little bit more time to lose the fat in the specific areas that you want to lose the fat in. But over time, with training properly, high intensity interval training, and eating the right foods, you will lose your love handles. But as far as scoliosis goes with that, unfortunately, there's not much we can do about having a short torso. It's just the anatomy of our body. But obviously, the flatter and more toned your stomach is, the better it's going to look. So maybe people with scoliosis, we have to work a little bit harder to get our stomach to look better because it is so squished, but that's just the way it is. So next question, what self-tanner do I use? So I usually put self-tanner on like once or twice a week, just depending. And I am definitely not an advocate for tanning beds. I'm not even gonna get into that. I am totally into taking care of myself, not just on the outside and aesthetic wise, but on the inside as well, and really giving my body what it needs, not just to look good, but also to feel good. And tanning in a bed is not even close to good. It is so bad for you, and that is just not something that I agree with or do myself. And so if you do it, stop now. There's so many good self-tanners out there, but I'm going to tell you the best one. And the best one, in my opinion, that I have personally tried is definitely Rosa self-tanner. It is pretty easy to apply in comparison to all the other self-tanners. It is not orange. It's like a really perfect brown color. Basically, you just apply it. You leave it on for like 6 to 8 hours. A lot of times I put it on at night, sleep in it, shower in the morning, and it gives you the best color. I love this tan. As you guys know, like, I do not endorse or recommend any products that I don't personally use, that I don't personally love, and this is one of those products that I am proud to share with you guys, and I absolutely love it, and I use it every single week. So I will put I do have a discount code for that I will link below, and you guys can save, I believe, 15% with that discount code. So next question, what diet do I follow, and do I count macros? So I have personally been counting my macros for probably like 3-ish years. And something that I stress to everyone, especially my clients, is that there is not like a one-size-fits-all diet. Every person has different preferences. Everybody has a different body. Everybody's body responds differently to different eating styles and diets and all of that kind of thing. And everybody is not going to enjoy doing the same thing. Everybody's not going to respond to, like I said, diets the same way. So if you're the type of person that hates counting macros and you think it's a super big inconvenience and it's just not for you, I am not here to sit here and say this is the only way to get fit. You have to count your macros to reach your goals, because that is not true. I will tell you why I count my macros. I will tell you the pros and cons of doing it. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is finding what works for you, because we want fitness and health to be a long-term lifestyle, not just something that we get results from and then we go back to our normal lifestyle. It has to be something that we can fit into our lifestyle so that we enjoy it, so that we stick to it, and we live it out for the rest of our lives. So if counting macros works for you, that's awesome. I personally love it. And if it doesn't, you've tried it and you hate it, that is totally okay. The reason I like counting my macros is, number one, if you find the numbers that you need to hit every day as far as carbs, proteins, and fats go, you don't have to question whether or not you are going to reach your goals. And that's probably my favorite thing about the whole thing, is that it's guaranteed results, which it's very motivating to know that if you do these things and discipline yourself with these numbers, you're going to hit your results. It's so much easier to stick to it versus people who are like, well, I don't really have like a set goal. I don't really know if what I'm doing is even getting me to my goals, so I'm just gonna eat this cookie because I don't even know what I'm doing. So it's kind of a good way to keep you on track and keep you motivated and keep you reassured that you are on the right track, and if you follow these macros, you're going to hit your goals. So that's one thing I love, is just the guaranteed factor of hitting your goals if you follow your macros. And then the second thing about it that I love is that it is flexible. That is why it is also called flexible dieting. It gives you the opportunity to essentially fit in any foods that you enjoy eating into your macros, as long as it fits into your numbers. Now, of course, I always tell my clients, don't get carried away with that, because, I mean, essentially you could fit 3 donuts in your macros every day if you wanted to, and then fill the rest of your protein with protein shakes. But that's not obviously a great idea. You want to still be putting mainly whole foods in your body, trying to stay away from processed foods, but if you are on track with your macros for the day and you just ate dinner and you're craving something sweet and you want a donut and it fits your macros, or you want a cookie or ice cream or whatever it is, and it fits your macros for the day, you can have that and know that you are still on track to reach your goals because you are still fitting inside of those numbers. So that's what I absolutely love. It gives you the flexibility. You can still go out to eat with your family. You can still enjoy your favorite foods and desserts, and you can still have cheat meals, and still know that you're on the right track and you're not getting off track. So that's something that I love about it as well. It is something that you have to get used to. A lot of people say, oh, I could never take all the time to measure all my food and do all that. And the thing is once you start doing it for even just a few weeks, you get so used to it and it becomes such a habit that it really doesn't take that much extra time. I have a food scale, and that is what saves me for counting macros. If I didn't have a food scale, I don't think I could count my macros, because I would not be getting out measuring spoons and measuring cups for every single thing that I'm going to eat. But when you have a scale, you just pop your plate or your bowl on there, and then you put your food on, and it measures it right then and there. So it's really simple, and when you have the app like LifeSum or MyFitnessPal, once you start logging foods into that, if you eat a lot of the same foods, or you eat a lot of the same foods on a weekly basis, it saves it into your app, and then you can just swipe and add it. You don't have to type everything in, or re-add everything, or do the macros yourself. It's really simple, and it's just one of those things that you have to get in the habit of, and once you do, it's really not a hindrance at all, at least in my opinion. I have been doing it, like I said, for years, and it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me because I love the flexibility, I love the guaranteed aspect of it, and it's just something that I'm used to. So if you have questions about counting macros, or you're interested in getting your macros calculated, feel free to comment below and I can definitely help you with that. Next question is, what exercises or stretches do I do for my scoliosis? This is a comment, or a question I should say, that I get pretty much on a daily basis. And if you go to my Instagram and read one of the captions of one of my posts that I put up with my x-ray, you will see why I unfortunately cannot recommend the same exercises that I'm doing for my scoliosis, because they are catered to me and my curve. If you would like to see any tips on scoliosis or anything that you can do to help yourself with your back, you can check out my scoliosis story on YouTube. I will link that down below. It's the first video that I ever posted here on YouTube, and that has the only tips that I can really offer. But there are some on there, so check that out if you would like more info on scoliosis. And next question is, what is my workout split and how many days a week do I do cardio? So I work out generally 5 to 6 times a week, usually 5 I would say, but sometimes 6 if I'm feeling it. I typically do cardio 2 to 3 times per week, and the only cardio that I do is high intensity interval training. So I will do things like sprints, or I will do high intensity interval training lower body circuits where I'll do like box hops and burpees and jump squats and all that kind of thing. High intensity interval training, in my opinion, is the best way to burn fat without burning your muscle or getting rid of your muscle, because when you do steady state cardio and you're on a machine for 45 minutes, an hour, you're depleting your muscle. And if you have goals of shedding a lot of body fat and you have a lot of weight to lose, doing steady state cardio is okay. I'm always going to say that high intensity interval training is even more effective at burning fat and it takes a lot less time. But if you are somebody who is looking to build muscle or maintain the muscle that you have already built, I definitely recommend doing HIIT, high intensity interval training, because it's going to help maintain the muscle that you already have built while helping you to burn fat. I only do it for 10 to 15 minutes each time. So really I'm doing like 30 to 45, 50 minutes of cardio a week. And I also feel that when I do my lifting, especially leg days, that is almost like cardio, because on my leg days I am dripping sweat and it is definitely getting my heart rate up every time. And so that's kind of what I do for cardio. But as far as my split goes, I do 1 day of back and biceps and abs. I do 1 day of legs, 1 day of shoulders, triceps, and a little bit of chest. And I usually do abs with that day as well. I do legs again, and then I have another day where I just do cardio and abs. So typically abs is, I would say 3 days a week is the most common. 3 days a week for abs, 2 to 3 days a week for cardio, and 2 upper body days a week and 2 to 3 lower body days a week. That kind of sounded confusing, but hopefully that made sense. Last question that I'm going to answer, because I don't want this video to be like a half hour long, is what is your favorite cheat meal? And I love this question because everybody loves cheat meals, and I would definitely say that my favorite cheat meal is donuts. Donuts have my heart. I just got a new dog. He's not here right now because he's being neutered, but he has donuts on his collar, donuts on his leash. I love donuts. It's just my biggest weakness. And don't get me wrong, I love pizza and I love burgers and I love any dessert. But donuts have my heart. So that's that. Comment below your favorite cheat meal, because I just love to hear what you guys like to eat when you are having a cheat meal. So let me know your favorite, and comment below any other questions that I didn't answer. And again, if you want to know more about my scoliosis or you have questions about your own, feel free to check out my scoliosis story. And again, I will link that below. But with that, thank you guys so much for watching. If you watched this entire video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to help support my channel and myself, and let me know what you guys would like to see in future videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.